You tune into the SportsCast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the SportsCast. Tune into the SportsCast. With Brian, Craig, and Jeff give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in. It's the OutSpoken SportsCast here, episode 102. Yes, 102. It's Super Bowl 56, guys, this weekend. It is tomorrow. Can't wait. Can't wait for the game. I think it's going to be a really good game. We're going to break that down in the spotlight of the week. As you can see, it's me, Ryan, solo. Jeff had some technical difficulties this morning and couldn't make it on the show, but that's all right. I'm holding down the fort here. We got the Bengals, Rams. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the NFL awards that just happened. And then in the headlines, we got a lot of headlines. We got a lot to break down this week. So bear with us on this longer episode. It might not be as long because it's just me, but the headlines are going to include the some NFL coaching hires, the trades for the NBA. We got some Major League Baseball news. So we've got it all over the map. And I hope you guys enjoy. So first of all, this is Super Bowl 56. We got the Bengals taking on the Rams in LA, the second year in a row that a team is at home in their own stadium for the Super Bowl. We talked about it last week, though. The Bengals will be the home team and the Rams will be the away team as they flip-flop every year as far as AFC and NFC home. Who's the home team in the Super Bowl? This game is so hard for me to call, guys, and it goes back to last week is when the Chiefs and the Bengals played. My head told me the Chiefs are going to win. My gut told me the Bengals. I've been wrong this whole year on the playoffs and the playoff bracket and who I had in the Super Bowl and who I had winning. I've been off, right? And I was like, well, let me go with my gut feeling instead of my head. And I was right when I picked the Bengals to win last week. I go back and forth on this game. You got Joe Burrow, the love that a lot of people have for this guy, and what he's been able to do has been fantastic. I love Joe Burrow. He's a fantastic player to watch. His character, his mindset, his swag. He has a lot of swagger to him, right? That they want, the swag about him, but and a lot of confidence. Coming out of college, breaking his leg this first year. This is his first full year back, and he's been able to take his team where they need to go. They're a sneaky good team as well. They got, that Jamar Chase. There's nothing sneaky about him. We all know how good he is. T. Higgins. I believe their tight end will play this week. He injured his knee last week, or the week before against the Chiefs. I believe he's going to play. He is questionable as well, but this team's defense is sneaky good. And not a lot of teams are talking about that. They were able to come in and shut down Patrick Mahomes when they played them in the AFC Championship game. So we got all that going right for the Bengals. The Rams, they got the superstar power. They got Aaron Donald. They brought in Von Miller. They got Jalen Ramsey. They brought in Matthew Stafford. And he is bringing Matthew Stafford in. The expectations was Super Bowl or bust. That's the way the Rams play. They're aggressive at free agency. They brought in Odell Beckham Jr., who's turned out to be still a good wide receiver, who's been going off for them. And Matthew Stafford has played pretty good. Now, I said that Matthew Stafford would throw interceptions in the playoffs and cost them a game. And it should have been against the 49ers, but the 49ers couldn't hold on to the football. Does Matthew Stafford throw those interceptions in this game? We'll have to wait and see. That's going to be their Achilles heel, is Matthew Stafford throwing in interceptions, because I don't think the Bengals are going to drop these passes the way they're playing right now, the confidence level they have. But Matthew Stafford was brought over here to do this one thing, and that's to win a championship. And Jared Goff, they got to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. They lost it. So his expectations bringing him over here was Super Bowl or bust. And he's got him there. Now they've got to finish the deal. They got to lock and seal this game. Now, this is the first Super Bowl in a while that I don't care who wins. Like, I want the Bengals to win personally, but if the Rams win, I'm fine with it. You got Von Miller that needs another ring. You got Darnold that deserves a ring. Ramsey deserves a ring. Matthew Stafford, I think he deserves a ring. Odell Beckham Jr. to get a ring. So this is a lot of guys. Cooper Kupp, obviously, I'm missing out the best wide receiver out there on the field for the Rams. But so both these teams have guys that I want to win a ring. And then you got the Cinderella story of Cincinnati. No one picked them to win their division. They win their division. No one picked them. Oh, that's cute. They won their division. Nobody picked them to beat the number one Tennessee Titans. They beat Tennessee Titans because Tannehill is not a good quarterback. And after giving up 9 sacks, they still hold on to win that game. They go against the Chiefs. Well, that's cute. The Chiefs are going to take it. The Chiefs win the game. They've overcome all these obstacles to get here. Okay. Can they overcome this defense? And that's my key of the game, right? They allowed 9 sacks against the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans have a decent defensive line. They go up against the Chiefs and say, man, he's going to get sacked a lot. They only allowed, I believe, 1 sack. Okay. But this is the Rams defense. Aaron Donald, okay, a beast. Von Miller, beast. These guys get to the quarterback at will. There's probably some people I'm missing on that list. They get to the quarterback every snap. And I know he took 9 sacks against Tennessee and still won the game, but they only put up 16 points. You're not going to put up 16 points against the Rams and beat them. You've got to get more than that. They have the explosive offensive weapons to score more than 16 points, obviously. That's why I go back and forth. I think Matthew Stafford's going to throw a couple interceptions. I think they're going to be able to get pressure on him. I think they're going to be able to slow down that rushing attack. And they've got to be able to slow down Matthew Stafford. I think he's going to throw some costly interceptions. Does Joe Burrow turn over the football? He's had an issue turning over the football here and there. He hasn't turned over the football as of late. He's been really good with the football, making smart decisions, but he's going to be pressured a lot on Sunday. It's going to be a lot. And 9 sacks is big. He was able to overcome that and get there. So I am torn between who wins this game. I am torn because, like I said, the Bengals have overcome so many obstacles to get here, and they could overcome this obstacle and win it all. The Rams, bringing in Matthew Stafford, they got the stars on that side of the football. They haven't looked really impressive in some games, but they are able to get the job done and get to this point. This defense should be able to get Joe Burrow. They should be able to cause chaos and win this game. My head tells me Rams, but I'm going with my gut, baby. Give me the Bengals to win this game 33-31. I think it comes down to a last-second field goal. The rookie kicker that they drafted wins them the game. Joe Burrow has a great game. Jamar Chase goes off. Say he goes off. It's probably going to be him versus Ramsey. So he's going to get some catches. I don't know if he's going to go off. But I think the Bengals win this game. I'm going with my gut. My head says the Rams. I did this last week. My head said Chiefs. My gut said the Bengals. I picked the Bengals to win. Same thing here. My head tells me the Rams should win this game. The Bengals win this game, in my opinion. You got the Cinderella story. Joe Cool over here, ice in his veins. Okay, he's got ice in his veins. He's going to get the job done, and they're going to take this Cinderella story all the way home, and we're going to have Cincinnati Bengal mania going on in Cincinnati. So, this is a great game for that. This is a great game for the commercials, right? Everyone wants to watch the commercials, and you honestly debate on, do I want to go somewhere to watch this game, because I'm going to be locked in on the commercials as well. Then you got the halftime show. I don't really care about the halftime shows usually. It depends on who they are. This one's going to be really good, or should be really good. You got, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige. You're bringing back some old school rappers in this. So hopefully it turns out great. I hope it does, and I think it will. So let me know what you guys are most looking forward to. Jeff has chimed in here. Yes, Jam is going for the Rams. Yes, I know. Like I said, Jeff, you're a big Bronco fan. Obviously, everyone knows this on this show. Von Miller deserves another ring. I totally get why you're going with him. I forgot to mention, Jeff, there's a guy that plays for the Bengals, Mike Daniels. He used to be a Green Bay Packer, really good Green Bay Packer, and I hope he wins one. So, but either way, I'd be happy either team wins. I'm going with the Bengals, though, there, Jeff. Another message for you guys watching this episode. Jeff says, I'll be back soon. You can bet on that. Jeff forgot his keyboard and some stuff at work. He's got a new job he's been filling in and training with, like we talked about before. And so he'll be back on here. And don't worry, it won't just have to listen to me talk or see my beautiful face. But Jeff, I got a question for you. Are you interested in the commercials and the halftime show this season? Not this season, but this Super Bowl. Some people are, some people aren't. I think the commercials have been bad. I think the commercials have been bad as the last couple of years, but sometimes you find a couple in there that are really, really good. They're supposed to be, you hear rumors they're supposed to be really good this year, but you hear that every year, right? So, I don't know if he's still on, but I'm looking forward to the halftime show. I'm looking forward to commercials. I'm looking forward to the football game. So it's all in. And my wife is making my favorite dinner, chicken parmesan with fettuccine, homemade fettuccine Alfredo sauce. I like to mix the marinara and the sauce together. It's going to be on point. So I'm excited about that too. All right, guys. Well, that's what I think. I think the Bengals take this one over the Rams. I'm happy either way who wins. And I think we can all agree, at least Tom Brady's not in the dang Super Bowl this year. So I think we'll take that. All right, guys, let's jump into the NFL awards. I didn't record this the other night. I wish I would have. I forgot to record it. Let's talk into that a little bit here and who got the award and if we agree with that or not. So the AP Defensive Rookie of the Year, this one was easy to call. Micah freaking Parsons, beast for the Dallas Cowboys. He deserves it. Hats off to him. He's done some things there, pressure wise, getting to the quarterback that a lot of players haven't done, especially the rookie season. And that was only playing that position part time because he's a linebacker and not an edge. So I think they should put him at edge from now on because he gets to the quarterback at a high consistency. But he says he likes to be versatile and likes to play both positions. So I think he's going to do that. Now that's big on him is the versatility he has. He's a beast. He's fast and he outran Tyreek Hill on the Pro Bowl. He outran him in a race. Now I think Tyreek Hill slipped or whatever at the beginning and kind of just let him have it. But yeah, he's a fast linebacker. He's a beast of a player, and Cowboys hit on that draft pick definitely. AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. We all knew this was coming. Jamar Chase, beast wide receiver. And a lot of people killed the Bengals for taking Jamar Chase over an offensive lineman to help protect Joe Burrow. But this guy, they hit on this 100%. There was a lot of rumors coming into the season about his offseason and his preseason games. He was dropping a lot of passes. He's killing it. He's killing it. He's a beast. I'm interested to see him in the Ramsey matchup this Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see how they match up together. Now, the AP Comeback Player of the Year. This was 100% Dak Prescott's award, right? I said this is Dak Prescott's award. They give it to Joe Burrow. I think that's the right call here. And now we got to remember, guys, these are all voted on before the playoffs start. So the playoffs have nothing to do with these records. Some people don't like that. Some people do. I like that they don't conclude the playoffs. But Joe Burrow wins this award, Comeback Player of the Year, the way he broke his leg last year and came back and was able to play at such a high level. I think it's fantastic. I think Joe Burrow definitely deserves that one. Defensive Player of the Year is T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt busted out the sacks. He had led the league in sacks, and he's a beast. And if you saw the moment his brother was able to up there introducing him with the award, and it was a good moment between them two, T.J. and J.J. Watt. Fantastic. He's a great football player, and hoping that the Steelers can turn it around. They don't waste his career there. But kudos. I agree with that pick. Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper freaking Kupp. This guy's come out of nowhere, right? I mean, he was good last season. He's been injured a little bit, but when he's on the field, he just stepped up this year and played really fantastic. He got a better quarterback in there with him, so that helps a lot too. The things he was doing. Cooper Kupp was a beast this year. He is the best wide receiver in the NFL. And if don't get me wrong, or don't tell me if I'm wrong, I guess I should say the wide receiver position every season tends to change, right? On who the number one is. Used to be Julio. Now, last year was Devontae Adams. This year is Cooper Kupp. Next year it'll probably be someone different. I think it changes every season. You can change that number one spot every year, and I like that change. We got some really good, fantastic wide receivers in here. Maybe it's Hopkins next year if he's healthy, but we'll see. Cooper Kupp was by far, hands down, the best wide receiver in the NFL this season. I had a lot of Packer fans argue with me that just Devontae Adams, and they're just dumb and biased. It's definitely Cooper Kupp. You cannot argue that at all. Interesting one here. Coach of the Year was Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel definitely deserves it. Okay. Deserving of it. I thought Matt LaFleur had a shot. What he did 3 years in a row, continued success here with the extra game. But with Aaron Rodgers, he's going to get discredited a lot, right? People are going to be, oh, well, you have one of the best all-time quarterbacks on your roster. He's MVP last year. You know, what else can, it's like, what else you're supposed to win with him, right? The voting wasn't even close. And Mike Vrabel gets it. And I think it's because the fact that this team lost their best offensive weapon. Their weapon, their game plan is to run the ball. Their weapon, Derrick Henry, who was a beast. And Mike Vrabel was able to win and get the number one seed without his weapon. They did lose in the playoffs, but Mike Vrabel definitely deserves Coach of the Year. They could have gone a couple different directions here, but Mike Vrabel is the one that gets that nod. MVP, baby. MVP. Now, that was a two-person race. Okay, don't give me this Cooper Kupp crap. No one's winning the MVP except a quarterback. Now, Derrick Henry might have if he would have stayed healthy and did what he was averaged, what he was doing. He might have, but that would take a lot too, because running backs and wide receivers, the wide receiver group and position is the most dependent spot in the NFL. You're dependent on who your quarterback is. You're dependent on how many times you get the ball, right? You rely so much on the quarterback to get you the ball. So, Cooper Kupp will never be the MVP, right? Their running backs aren't going to win the MVP. This is basically a quarterback award. It goes to Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVPs. Good job, Aaron Rodgers. Four-time winner. He's a four-time winner. That's one. Peyton Manning has 5. Aaron Rodgers has 4, and then some other quarterbacks like Tom Brady and them have 3. Kudos to Aaron Rodgers. I hope he ties that eventually. Gets number 5, but we'll see. We'll see from here. I thought they could have gave it to Tom Brady because some of his numbers were better, especially yards and touchdowns. He did have more interceptions, but Aaron Rodgers gets the award, and kudos. It gives Green Bay a lot more leverage on trying to send him away somewhere if they're smart. And you can come at me all you want. I need to do a TikTok on that, on what I think and why I think the Green Bay Packers should move on. I think I did that TikTok on it's time to move on, and I could go into more of why later on down the road. But Aaron Rodgers wins the MVP. Kudos to him. If the MVP showed up in the playoffs, we would probably be in the Super Bowl. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, that's the 2 spotlight of the week. Really talking about that. Let's jump into the headlines of the week. All right, guys. The Brian Flores situation's been going on. He's suing the NFL. We all know that by now. I talked a little bit at that last week. Now, the Houston Texans, they were deciding between Lovie Smith and Brian Flores, and they decided to hire Lovie Smith. And they came out and said it was the right decision to make. It's definitely not the right decision. Nobody in their right mind, if you're taking everything out of it, and you look at Brian Flores' career and you look at Lovie Smith's career, you're going Brian Flores if you're not an idiot. Definitely not. And the lawsuit definitely made the decision here for the Texans. And maybe they were going to go with Brian Flores, and maybe the league, Roger Goodell, said, no, you can't do that. I don't know. This is kind of shady stuff that happens in corporations and sports. And maybe that was the decision. They said, nah, you can't hire Brian Flores. But Brian Flores knew the consequences of suing the NFL, that this was a possibility. So he can't be surprised and or flabbergasted that they decided to go with Lovie Smith over him. So it is what it is. The Houston Texans will continue to be a laughing stock and be ran into the ground until they make Lovie Smith is not a good head coach. We've seen it over and over again with this guy. He did okay in Chicago, but he's not great. He's not better than Brian Flores. So, but Brian Flores came out and said, congratulations, Lovie Smith, but we all know I should have got that job. Maybe next time don't sue the NFL until after you get a job. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You knew the consequences of suing the NFL. This could possibly happen. It happened, and you can't really be surprised about it. Number 2, Kamara. The Saints. What a mess. What a mess. The Saints running back, Alvin Kamara, is the only one that did actually any hitting at the Pro Bowl, as him and his crew physically beat up a man in the hotel. Kamara punched through 8 punches, connected on 8 punches. Then his crew stomped this guy out. They knew about this and let him continue to play in the Pro Bowl, and then they arrested him. What a joke. I mean, you got to make smarter decisions, guys. My gosh, is it that difficult? That difficult to let things go? I don't care what this guy says to you or whatever. If that guy throws a punch, okay, whatever. That's different. You throw a punch back, but But just beating this guy up, I don't care what he says to you, what he calls you, or your girlfriend, whatever. It is what it is. You punched him, beat him up, beat the crap out of him. Your crew stomped on him. Ridiculous. Alvin Kamara should be facing charges. Alvin Kamara should be suspended by the NFL and probably will be, depending on what they find. Now, we all know they take forever to come out and investigate. But the New Orleans Saints franchise is becoming a hot mess. You don't know what you're doing at quarterback. You lost your head coach. Drew Brees retired. Your star running back's out there beating the crap out of people. Michael Thomas has been injured and doesn't know if he wants to play for the Saints. This franchise is becoming a joke as well, or becoming to look like that. It's a mess. They've got a lot of questions going into the season that they're not going to be able to answer, and their fan base should be worried about this, and should be worried about their direction going to the further on, and should be worried about their star running back out there beating up people seamlessly for no reason. So it's just, even if it was for a reason, it doesn't matter. You got to be smarter, period. In the discussion, point blank. All right, guys. Well, the trade deadline, number 3, the headlines here. Trade deadline was this last week, and we had some blockbuster trade. We had some good trades. We had some decent trades. There are a lot of trades going on. I'm going to break down some of the important ones that I thought were pretty interesting here. The blockbuster trade of the week was James Harden and Paul Millsap going to the 76ers, and they sent Brooklyn Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, a unprotected first round, and a protected first round pick. This is something we knew that was coming. First of all, the whole Ben Simmons drama there, sitting out all year, not wanting to play the 76ers because he couldn't handle the pressure. Finally getting moved. He finally got what he wanted. He got out of Philly because he couldn't handle the pressure. And he's a good player. Is he a elite player? No. They're playing him like he's an elite player. That was the problem. But this is perfect for Ben Simmons. I talked about this over the offseason. This guy does not like to take the shots. He does not like to take the ball and take the shots when the moment's on the line. He collapses in a corner, sucks his thumb like a baby. All right? He doesn't do it. But this is perfect for him. A perfect team to go to because he can play his defense. He can control the ball. He'll score some points, here or there. But he can pass the ball to Kevin Durant to take the big shots when Kevin Durant gets back. He can pass the ball to Kyrie Irving. He can pass the ball to Seth Curry. I really like Seth Curry and what he can do, his ability to shoot threes. He can pass the ball around. This is a great trade for the Brooklyn Nets. You get James Harden out, who's a quitter, who is just that, a quitter. Couldn't make it working with Durant and Harden, or Durant and Westbrook. He goes to Houston. They did everything they could to get him a championship. He had a lot of say in who they brought in, who they let go. Then he quit on the team, forced to trade. He goes over here and he can't make it work with 2 other superstars. This guy's beginning to be a problem. And James Harden. But Ben Simmons goes over there. It's a good trade. I really like what Brooklyn got back. I'm not a Brooklyn fan. I don't like Kevin Durant. I despise Kyrie Irving. Only person I did like was James Harden, and then, someone liked his attitude and quitter that he is. I'm beginning to lose respect for him as well. But this is a good move for the Brooklyn Nets. Unfortunately, they, as long as Kyrie can play in half the games, and he's not a head case, which he usually is, and they get a healthy Kevin Durant back, they look like they'll turn their team around with Seth Curry, and they added Andre Drummond down low, which is great, and unprotected and a protected first round picks. So what a protected is basically, the unprotected means that you give them the first round pick. It doesn't matter what draft slot it is, you get that pick. A protected basically is, if it's a top 10 pick, that pick will go back to the 76ers. That means it's protected. And the way they do their lottery is dumb. They draw the balls and that's who they pick. That they draw the lottery balls and then they pick who gets which pick and then in the NBA instead of doing it like the NFL where the worst team gets the number one spot. But I digress. Now, James Harden and Paul Millsap to the 76ers. Yeah, they're getting. I don't really care about Paul Millsap in this, but the James Harden is a big pickup for the 76ers. He's a great scorer of the basketball. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, whether you like the guy or not. Is he going to mix well with Joel Embiid? Is he going to handle the pressure of playing in Philly? Is he going to handle when he goes in a slump, the Philly fans booing him? Is he going to want out of there at the end of the season? Who knows? James Harden plays better with a pick and roll big. Joel Embiid's not a pick and roll big. We'll see how they match up. I don't think they match up that great. But when you get a guy that can score as many points as James Harden can every game, it's still a good pickup. They sent a lot over their 76ers because James Harden is a star. There's no argument there. He's a good basketball player when he wants to play. So I don't know who you think won this trade. I'm going to give the winner of this trade to the 76ers. Not 76ers, my bad. The Brooklyn Nets. So the Dallas Mavericks. Whoo! This is a last-second trade. Porzingis to the Wizards for a second round pick for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. This is a bad trade. This is a trade that doesn't make you better right now, right? They actually got worse this season with this trade. They're basically they're admitting a defeat from Dallas, trading away what was supposed to be their second superstar in Porzingis. This was supposed to be the guy to come in here and be the number 2, and they were supposed to lead it with Luka, and no. Porzingis is garbage, right? As not, garbage as a basketball player. He's okay when he's on the court, but when he's on the court, he's always hurt. He never plays. He needs to be a 3, not a number 2, but he thinks he's a number 1. That's the problem too, is he thinks he's a superstar, but he doesn't play. And they nicknamed him the unicorn, but he's the unicorn because you barely see him on the court. Not because he's a majestic creature, but you don't see him on the court very often. I don't think he's going to do well over there. It's going to be the same issues. I'm glad that they got rid of him. Don't get me wrong. Last year, you couldn't have sold Porzingis for a penny on the dollar. And now you sell him for a nickel on a dollar, right? You didn't get 2 guys that are great. Spencer Dinwiddie is a guy who can come in and run the offense, and he can score some points. But is he your future? No. Davis Bertans, is he your future? No. This deal was to make future moves, right? They feel like they can take these guys later down the road, next year possibly, package them and try to trade these guys to get somebody. So sorry, I got a comment from Jeff. This is not a good trade. They obviously got Porzingis' trade value up a little bit, enough to trade him for something. But this is a mini failure. And I can't blame the Mavericks for trying, right? I can't blame the Mavericks for going out and get Porzingis. I thought that was huge. I was like, man, okay, that's good. Can he stay healthy? That was my first thought. Good pickup. Can he stay healthy? Obviously, it's not. Obviously, he can't. And they better bring somebody else in here next season for Luka, because if they don't, Luka's not staying there long term, guys. If they don't bring him some help, he's just not. He's just not. So that they really want Luka to stay there long term, like Dirk, they've got to do something. And we all know Mark Cuban is not good at getting free agents there, and superstar players to come play in Dallas. That's just a fact. The Pacers get Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. The Kings get Sabonis, Lamb, and Holiday. I thought this was a good pickup for both teams. I thought this was a good trade. Now, Sabonis is probably the best player in the trade, in this trade overall, but Buddy Hield offers a lot of value. Halliburton is their pickup they drafted this year. He shows some good promise. So I like to pick up for both. Buddy Hield gets out of the Sacramento. And we'll see what the Pacers can do with Rick Carlisle, their head coach, who's really smart and good head coach there. So we'll see what they can do with those three guys. Tristan Thompson is a solid player, but I'm interested to see what Buddy Hield can do. And sometimes just a change of scenery will help. But Sabonis came out the other night and played really well for the Kings, and he's a good basketball player. So I like this trade on both parties, and I think they both got a little bit better from it. Now, the one that made me laugh a little bit, the Trailblazers. What are you doing here, guys? What are you doing? You have a lot of Blazer fans scratching your heads and just kind of, what are we doing? You know what I mean? You say you want to build a team. Lakers, or not Lakers. Sorry, Jess. Oh, you're texting me. The Trailblazers, what are you doing? All right, I'll get to Jeff's comments in a second. What are you doing? You say you're building around Damian Lillard. You're not just going to trade him away. You're going to build around this guy, right? You just sent away his best teammate, CJ McCollum. So the Trailblazers get Josh Hart and nobodies. They get nobody. They get Josh Hart, decent basketball player. Not great, not a superstar, not someone that can come in there and be number two. Pelicans get CJ McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell. CJ McCollum's a really good basketball player. But you can't tell me you're gonna build around Damian Lillard, trade away his best player, and expect us to believe you. I just don't know what you're doing there. And they needed to do something, right? Because they haven't got over that hump. They're a good team. They get to the playoffs. They can't get over the hump. But what are you doing? I just don't understand the trade. Jeff says Mavs look better than ever currently. Well, I didn't say better than ever. That, when they won the 2011 championship or 2010, whatever it was, they're pretty dang good. The Mavs are the 5th seed right now, I believe, 5th or 6th. You're right. They do look pretty good right now. But they're not going to win the same championship this year. You're not going to go. You maybe win one playoff series and that's it. You're not going to go that far. It's going to be the same issues until you get Luka Doncic some actual help and not have it rely all on him. You're going to have issues. And then they just trade away Porzingis. There's the big guy that's gone. You don't have really another big guy down low. So when you go up against teams that have other big guys, you're going to struggle. Luka did put up 28 points his first game the other night without Porzingis on the floor. It's the most points anybody scored in a quarter of the season by themselves. 28 points. He ended up scoring 51 altogether. They beat the Clippers, but the Clippers are also without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. But yes, Jeff, worry about your Lakers. The Lakers are a freaking joke. Okay. Lakers make no moves as they continue to be a joke. This is one of the worst seasons I've seen from them, especially with a LeBron James team and with 2 superstars and Anthony Davis. The reports were that Braun, Davis, and Vogel all on the same page about not making a move. And then after the trade deadline the reports came out and said LeBron and Anthony Davis wanted trades made. I think they were looking to get Vogel out. But I'm going to tell you, everybody, I was right. Westbrook's a joke. It was not going to work. We traded for him. And everyone, my buddies, were like, oh, man, that's huge. He's going to be great. And I said, I don't like it. Westbrook has never been able to play well with others. He has triple doubles. I don't care. He doesn't help facilitate the offense. He doesn't play that great defense. He's athletic beast, but I don't care. He does not, everywhere he's gone, he does not play well with others. Bottom line, we added some pieces I thought were going to be good around him that might have worked. That's all fallen flat. They've got nobody. LeBron's been more injured this season than ever. Anthony Davis is soft as tissue paper. Okay. This team is doomed. Maybe we make the playoffs. Maybe we don't. But this needs to be blown up next season. It needs to be blown up. Something's going to happen. Vogel, if we don't make the playoffs, we'll probably get fired. If we make the playoffs, we probably lose in the first round. We'll be a low seed playing a very high seed. We're not going to beat them. And then we've got to look about the future of the Lakers. But when you're talking about LeBron James-led teams, when he goes to a team, he does whatever he wants, gets whoever he wants to come in. And when he leaves, the team's depleted. They deplete the young people, the core of the team to get other players in. And then when they all leave, you're stuck looking like a AAA team. So it's just bad. It's just bad right now. It's a joke. And I don't know what else to say. It's laughable. I am more interested in the Texas Rangers baseball this season, Jeff, than I am to watch the Lakers play basketball. And that's sad because the Rangers aren't very good. Speaking of the Texas Rangers, we're going to jump into some baseball here for a little bit. Now, Trevor Bauer. We talked about him last season of Major League Baseball. Trevor Bauer was in some what do you want to call it? He was in some trouble. If you don't remember the story, basically he was making rough love with a lady who said that he crossed the line, punched her in the face, did all these things. And it was a horrible look for him. The Dodgers basically said, hey, don't show up to work. We'll pay you, but don't come back here. The courts say that Trevor Bauer is found innocent against his accuser. Now, the MLB can still punish Bauer, but they shouldn't. They shouldn't punish Bauer. Bauer was found innocent. He came out with a report the other day or a statement talking about all this, talking about how fast the storyline went, how fast these writers wanted to hold a grudge and bring him down. And he missed, 3 or 4 months of baseball. I don't think that Major League Baseball should suspend him. He's already missed a lot of baseball. The question is now, did the Dodgers take him back? And does he want to play for the Dodgers? Right? He's still owed a lot of money. That's all guaranteed. Okay. Well, do the Dodgers want him? Yes. Or do the Dodgers want him? They should want him. Will they take him back? I don't think so. I think a lot of people in that locker room were very soured by what had happened. And trust me, I get it. I think he crossed the line. Did I think he was going to be found guilty? No, because the text messages proved that she consented to all of those things. And even a female judge, before this thing went to trial or before this thing moved further, said, you didn't set the boundaries. And this is, I don't think you're going to be able to convict Trevor Bauer. And that's what came out after all this. But my question is, do the Dodgers take him back? They should, and they should want him back because he's a superstar pitcher. But does he even want to play for them? Right? They basically threw him under the bus and wanted nothing to do with him. Does he want to go back to an organization that turned their backs on him? I don't know. My guess is he probably gets traded, and I don't know if the MLB does anything to suspend him or not, but he's a great baseball player. Did he cross the line? Morally, that's on you to answer because all people's morals are different. I think he crossed the line, but that's not for me to judge, right? The court said that he's innocent. Can't prove that he did anything wrong as far as their agreement and text messages and all the evidence backing Trevor Bauer. So it is what it is now. He's already missed a lot of baseball. Of course, he was paid for that, but does he go back to the Dodgers? Do they want him back, or does he even want to go back there? So it's the big questions still coming for Trevor Bauer and what they're going to do there. But Number 5. This one's kind of interesting. MLB drug contract ended while negotiations are going on. Negotiations are going on with the CBA, right? We all know that Major League Baseball is going through kind of a strike. They've got to agree on a contract, the CBA contract, to basically continue baseball. We'll probably start the season a little later. There probably will be baseball still. I don't think it's that far off, but hopefully not. Right? Hopefully they're not that far off. I'm going to go to a couple Ranger games this year. Hopefully, if there's baseball, but basically this drug contract has ended while these talks are going on. So that means they can't test players for steroids, for any other things like that. They can't test players right now for that. So these players could go out right now and take steroids. And I think it's kind of ironic because they just kept out Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens out of the Hall of Fame for steroids. So, excuse me, how ironic is it that they are keeping those baseball players out of the Hall of Fame, which I don't agree with because of steroids. Weeks later, players are able to take steroids in baseball. Now, they could do something about that sooner than later. They need to do something about that sooner or later, and where they can just talk about that, agree on a drug protocol, and get that back in before the CBA is up, so that way, or the CBA is agreed on, so that way these players can't go take steroids and do anything like that. They're not supposed to. But right now, I guess if you're a baseball player, you can take some steroids and maybe get away with it. It's kind of ironic, but they need to get this thing figured out. Major League Baseball. I want baseball to start. I want all 182 games, 86 games. What? It's 182, yeah. But I'm ready for baseball. And let's see. I think baseball needs to shorten their games and make it more interesting. But we'll go from that's another whole nother debate and topic. That was a lot of stuff to get through. If me and Jeff were on here together, this would have been a 2-hour episode. But it's just me. So 46 minutes right now, not too terrible. This week in my locker, man, it's been one of those weeks, guys. It's been one of those weeks. When Friday came and I clocked out from work, I was it felt like a gorilla jumped off my back. I was relieved. This week's been a little difficult. Last week we were off because of the ice storm. We missed Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from work. We don't work on Sundays. We started back on Monday, and the trash business never stops. I do commercial trash, and they never stops. And when we miss work because of this, it's playing catch up. I worked 13-hour days every day this week. Okay, that's no joke. 13 to 14-hour days every day except Friday. I got off. I got off at a decent time because I was able to catch up. But it's just a lot of work, guys. I put in a lot of hours this week. This paycheck next week is going to be fantastic. This paycheck yesterday, Friday, was not very good because I didn't get paid for 3 days. So I guess I should throw this up here, right? Not that. My bad. The what's in my locker, because it's what's in my locker section, and I got to ask myself that question. Yeah, like I said, this week's been hectic. This week's been bad. We've had some stuff at work go down, and it's been hectic. I think everyone at the end of this week is kind of glad that it's over and moving forward. I got to run a big route next week that I'm not looking forward to, but I'll get the job done because that's who I am, right? Now, but I'm just kind of being funny, but no, it's a lot of work. And me and the wife, this is a big weekend, guys. Okay, my 11th wedding anniversary was yesterday, February 11th. We celebrated. Well, we took the family out for dinner, but when you have kids and work, and it's hard to find the time to actually go on dates. So we're doing that actually in a couple of weeks, celebrating that and my birthday all in one, because my birthday is actually today. That's right. Happy birthday to me. I'm another year older. The birthdays really don't matter at this point, except how old you get. Um, and then you got the Super Bowl tomorrow, and then you got Valentine's on Monday. So it's a big weekend. We usually celebrate our birthday or our anniversary on. We actually, um, thank you, Jeff. Thank you. He said happy birthday and happy anniversary. I appreciate that. It's a big weekend. They always fall. I got married the day before my birthday, and so they all kind of fall together. And we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't know about you, Jeff. I think it's a BS holiday, and I don't buy roses and flowers and chocolates for my wife on Valentine's Day. I don't, because I do that randomly through the year, and you should be doing that randomly through the year, anyways, because love's not just a 1 year thing. But I had to buy my Valentines for the kids' classrooms, and it's just a waste of money. They just throw all that stuff. We just They just throw all that stuff in the trash can. So I think Valentine's is BS, in my opinion. Don't mean to hurt your feelings, guys. Jeff doesn't do Valentine's either good. I think it's a BS marketing holiday. But so we got that going on. In a couple weeks, we'll go on a date day. We like to see like to watch movies, me and the wife. So we'll go out. It'll be an all day thing. We'll go to the theater in the morning. We'll go and see 2 or 3 movies that whole day. It'll take up the whole day. My mom will watch the kids for us, and we'll go out to eat dinner as well. It'll be a good day, just us together. And we actually just, Jeff, we ended up getting Apple TV. There's a couple things on there I wanted to check out. $4.99 a month, not bad. Let me go ahead and get it. We've been watching Ted Lasso. I've heard a lot of good things about the show, and it's fantastic. It is fantastic. I'm not a soccer guy. I don't watch soccer. I don't talk about soccer. I could give crap about soccer. So this kind of made me. I don't really want to. I don't really want to watch a show about soccer, but it won a lot of awards. I said it's going to be great. I love Jason Sudeikis. I think he's hilarious, and he does fantastic in this. It's a very good show. There's not a whole lot of like watching soccer in it. It's a really good show. I highly recommend that as well. There's a lot of shows coming. Jackass Forever and Batman soon. Yes, Batman's coming soon. We're gonna go watch the new shows. We're gonna go watch when we do. Will be the Jackass movie and will be the Uncharted movie. We're looking forward to watching that as well. I think they're gonna do a good job there. And then next month, definitely, Jeff, I'm going to see Batman. Got a lot of stuff coming out. There's a new HBO documentary about the Lakers coming soon. The Showtime Lakers. So it'll be good to watch the glory days when the Lakers were really, really good, and see what's coming, and what went on behind the scenes there. Also, as well, Magic Johnson, Jeff, said he's making his own documentary about the Lakers because he's not going to watch this one because it's probably going to have some bad things about him in there. So he'll give you his version of those, the time there, the Showtime Lakers. So a lot of good stuff to watch. We actually watched a movie last night called Palmer. And it's a show with Justin Timberlake, and it's about short story. Short here is that Justin Timberlake is a guy that used to be in the hometown. He was a superstar quarterback. He went to LSU, got hurt, came back, He came back because his football career was over, robbed somebody, went to prison, did 12 years in prison. He gets out of jail, goes to live with his grandma, whose grandma's taking care of this kid because her mother's a drug addict who lives next door in a trailer. And her grandma dies, and so this character that Justin Timberlake plays, his name is Palmer, is basically taking care of this kid, and he wants nothing to do in the beginning, but then he wins him over. And this kid is different. This kid is different. He's a boy, but he puts on makeup and he wears dresses and all this stuff. So he gets picked on a lot, and Palmer sticks up for him. It's a good movie as far as if you want a feel good movie, because Palmer at the end, you see this relationship grow, where basically he becomes his kid. and Palmer does good, but it's also a very boring show. It takes a long time to get there, and it's okay. It's okay if you want to watch it. It's not the greatest. So, um, yes, I've heard a lot about this one, Jeff. It's a documentary called The Tinder Swindler. I'm gonna check that out as well. There's a lot of stuff to watch, guys, right now. And we, of course, we got the Super Bowl this weekend, but there's a lot of stuff to watch. Go check all those things out. And check out the Palmer movie if you want to. I put a new TikTok out on my food review. I did the food review of the Red Robin hot scorpion burger. Go check that out on TikTok as well. We do TikToks for the show at OutSpoken SportsCast as well. You want to like us, share us, subscribe on YouTube. We do stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And we are on all podcast platforms as well. So you can come look at our beautiful faces if you want to. If you can't do that, then you can go to the podcast and listen during the week. We would like any feedback you would like to give us, guys. It's usually me and Jeff on here. Jeff's schedule is not allowing him to be on here, but he will be back soon. And I'm sure I'll be out there tweeting about the Super Bowl, talking about all that this Sunday. So looking forward to it. Let me know what kind of food you're having for the Super Bowl. I know a lot of people like to go out or like to have a plethora of food on the Super Bowl. There's going to be a shortage of chicken wings, I hear, as those prices has gone up everywhere. Thanks, Joe Biden, for that. Grocery, I went grocery shopping earlier. Gets more expensive. Appreciate that, Joe. But anyways, enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. And like I said, look for us on all platforms, social platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Jeff runs the Instagram page, and we'll get him back on here soon. And guys, if you have any questions, you can email us too at outspokensportscast@gmail.com. Let us know what you guys think. If there's something that you want us to talk about, there's a point you want us to talk about, you want our specific opinions on that said subject, please feel free to reach out to us and let us know what you think. All right, guys, that's all I got for this episode this week, episode 102, Super Bowl 56. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and God bless.